Hello there, fellas. It is Lord No, and it is time to react to the new Yuji versus Denji death battle that just came out. Now, when looking at this matchup, my opinion has been flip-flopped multiple times. Not just my personal opinion about the match, but the concept. The winner of the match itself. My opinion started off at, well, as everyone's does, his first viewing, or his first idea of the matchup. I first found out about this from a Raptor video. If you know who the Raptor is, or the Versus community, he's probably one of the biggest Versus or death battle reviewers on the site, if that's a better way to put it. And when I first heard about the matchup, I was like, you know what? This makes sense. It's the two other big action anime of the current era, both with a more supernatural aspect than anything else in its era. And when both shows ended, and it was said that the JJK community started cursing the ending for the Chainsaw Man ending, and when it happened, I first went like, wow. This community cannot catch a break. And then my other thought was, so wait, can the JJK community just Danhausen a person now? Can they just curse an entire show? I mean, so one of the main reasons now I was interested was because, will this be a three-peat for the Chainsaw Man community? Can they get their ultimate win over, I said the Chainsaw Man community. Can the JJK community get their ultimate win over the Chainsaw Man show? Because, first, Gojo beat Makima. That one was obvious. Second, they now curse the ending, which wasn't as good as a lot of people had hoped. And now this. Can we see a three-peat? As for the episode itself, and by that I mean my guess on the winner, I was originally looking at Denji because, well, he's one of the Yuji is one of the only JJK characters in the show with, well, no, he's not one of them. He is one of the characters without some bullcrap ability like Infinity that makes versus debating so difficult for this verse. And of course, Denji has things like better weaponry and the healing factor. But then I saw the new JJK manga. I started reading a few chapters, saw just how powerful Denji got. I mean, not Denji, Yuji got. And my first opinion was, there's still no Infinity, so there's a better chance for Denji to get that win. But I still saw to myself, now that the power seems a bit more equal, there's a chance. My first thought was still Denji, because then I heard, wait a minute. Denji can do what? What do you mean he can just erase concepts? And I think I'm still going to keep it that way, because DB likes to do original scaling more than anything else. Don't get me wrong, they do get scaling wrong. Because they somehow scaled Metal Sonic to be slower than Cell. And then they somehow scaled Rize's explosions to somehow be as strong or around the same strength as Katsuki's. And there's also the factor that, like I said, they like to keep original footage or original ideas from the first story you would read, and sometimes they get a little bit late to new material, just like me. So they might or might not ignore the new manga. So let's see how this all plays out. Let's begin our main event in 3, 2, 1, now.
Yuji versus Denji.
The Vessel of Sukuna versus the Chainsaw Man.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Here we go, baby.
If Yuji Itadori was one thing, he was strong.
Oh, yep, it
As
says
his
they're doing it.
grandfather lay dying, he made
The
Yuji
sequel.
promise to help others and not to die alone.
A promise Yuji would keep by joining Jujutsu High, a school for up-and-coming sorcerers training to rid the world of curses.
Essentially monsters manifested by humanity's fears, hatreds, and anxieties.
Just one problem for Yuji. Unlike everybody else, he didn't have a magical curse technique. Oh no, he had something way worse.
After consuming a cursed finger, like a literal finger, Yuji became possessed by its original owner, the King of Curses,
Ryomen Sukuna.
the most powerful sorcerer in history.
And Yuji's willpower was the only thing holding Sukuna back from controlling his body, killing everything in sight, and taking over the world.
So Yuji got to know his surly new roommate, and perhaps one day he would show him a kinder, gentler path.
A classic shonen hero's journey if I've ever heard one. Yuji would track down and nosh on the rest of Sukuna's cursed fingers before they caused any more trouble.
Fulfilling his late grandfather's wish to use his strength in service of others, surrounded by friends.
Helps that he's getting a first-rate education from the strongest sorcerer alive today, Gojo.
Yep.
Gojo would teach Yuji to harness and manipulate the absolutely absurd amount of cursed energy he inherited from Sukuna.
Cursed energy is basically like evil ki, and Yuji can use it to see invisible curses and enhance his already superhuman strength and martial arts skills he learned from his gramps, making him a monster in close quarters combat.
Yuji knows Taido, a Japanese martial art derived from Okinawan karate. It focuses on agility and flexibility with the inclusion of spins, twists, tumbles, drops, rolls, and fleet footwork.
Which he combines with jujutsu techniques like Divergent Fist. Yuji strikes an enemy so fast that his cursed energy takes a second to catch up, hitting his opponent twice and messing up their rhythm.
By perfecting that timing and applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of a hit, Yuji can achieve the Black Flash, increasing the power of his hit by a factor of 2.5. A feat that would require reaction speeds nearly 1,000 times faster than sound.
It's basically impossible to do at will. You're so in the zone when you pull it off that it fully restores your cursed energy and boosts your output to 120%.
Yuji's Black Flashes are so strong in particular, the author himself stated that 5 in a row would have been enough to instantly kill the special grade curse, Jogo.
Who did this? And this?
And this.
This.
How many has Yuji ever done in a row, you ask? 7.
And that's not even the nastiest thing about Yuji's punches.
Because another soul resides in his body, Yuji learned how to target the soul itself, doing damage to opponents who could normally regenerate from his hits.
Yeah, this pink-haired brat was a jujutsu prodigy, perfect for Gojo's dream. You see, it's lonely at the top, and Gojo wanted to train a crop of pupils powerful enough to share the burden of reforming Jujutsu society.
Until one fateful battle when Gojo
He got
was
himself
sealed away
locked up,
and
man.
Sukuna took over Yuji's body, then proceeded to, well, commit that whole mass
Arson
murder
the
thing
entire
he was
city of-
always going on about.
Yeah,
Shinjuku.
turns out Sukuna is evil. Like, really, totally, completely, irredeemably evil.
And it also turns out that every twist and turn in Yuji's life was orchestrated by the body-hopping sorcerer
Kenjaku.
in order to resurrect Sukuna and bring about the curse apocalypse.
In Yuji's eyes, something he was completely responsible for. And so, having failed his grandfather, Yuji's outlook shifted.
No longer would he fight to protect others, but to kill curses.
And after Sukuna hopped bodies into Yuji's best pal Megami, the King of Curses became numero uno on Yuji's shit list.
Yuji's defeated powerful disaster curses like Hanami and Mahito, survived being slammed so hard he cratered the earth, and is comparable to sorcerers like Maki, who tanked getting rammed through entire mountain ranges.
Yuji also learned how to use super advanced abilities like reverse curse technique to heal himself from crazy damage, like getting his torso shredded into chili. Ugh.
And in some other
Oh yeah, I
sorcerers'
completely
cases,
forgot
even
that they actually
regrowing
do have a
lost
healing
limbs.
factor.
Though it takes a lot of energy to regenerate blood. So after going on a cursed object feeding frenzy, he learned how to manipulate his own blood to speed up his healing, or fire it like a blood beam.
Ooh.
A poisonous blood beam.
So he
All of
did
that
learn that
combined made
technique.
Yuji just tough enough to finally take
That
on
might
the
be a
King of
problem.
Curses, although greatly weakened after his victory against Gojo.
Rip. Literally.
Oh
Sukuna
god.
was still the de facto strongest being alive, but after hitting him with a Black Flash, Yuji actually copied Sukuna's main ability.
Gojo's plan all along.
This was Grind. With it, Yuji can slice apart any surface he touches, an enemy's flesh, the ground beneath him, even the boundary between two souls in one body. Enough hits can even cause those two souls to separate.
Like a souped up version of his normal punches.
Even better, Yuji finally gained access to the most powerful weapon in any sorcerer's arsenal.
A domain expansion.
Basically a pocket dimension created by the sorcerer where their ability will hit no matter what. No contact needed.
The only thing I remember about Yuji's is that it basically gives him free reign to just go ham on a person. Like, basically, that rush combo that he gave to Mahito in the subway, his domain expansion just lets him do that.
You're trapped in Yuji's domain, you're getting sliced to ribbons.
With all his power and training and righteous fury, Yuji severed Sukuna's soul from Megumi's body, freeing his friend from the demon's clutches. But not before offering Sukuna one last chance at redemption.
Which he rejected before dying because, well, evil. Leaving Yuji to grow into one of the most fearsome sorcerers in history.
Turns out the cursed objects that Yuji consumed made him part cursed and slowed his aging to a crawl, giving him decades of training and battle experience.
Yep.
He's mastered blood manipulation, can pull off black flashes at will, and shredded entire cities apart with Shrine. Just like Gojo and Sukuna before him, he became the strongest.
But what actually makes someone truly strong? For Sukuna, it was the power to stand alone atop all others. But to Yuji, it was the opposite.
The only
ability
reason
to
he had
defend
survived
others.
as long as he had was because of the mercy and sacrifice of his friends.
So Yuji brought together friends and allies, new and old, to create a world eventually free from curses entirely, fulfilling not just Gojo's wish, but his grandfather's as well.
Because if Yuji Itadori was one thing, he was strong. Wiz, if there are two truths in this world, two universal constants, it's these. Life sucks and then you
You die.
Especially for the young boy, Denji.
Who was so poor and unlucky, he doesn't even know his last name.
With
Jesus.
an alcoholic father forever indebted to the Yakuza, and a diet consisting of whatever garbage he could get his hands on, all Denji had in this world was his dog,
Pochita.
Who happened to have a chainsaw sticking out of his face. Really putting the tear in Terrier.
Pochita wasn't an actual dog, obviously. He was a devil. Monstrous superpowered beings literally from hell that are created by and represent humanity's worst fears.
Yep.
In Pochita's case, literally the personification of chainsaws.
Oh, he's so cute. Who would be afraid of chainsaws? They're the most versatile tool in the world. Perfect for chopping trees, opening cans, massacring your foes.
Apparently, Pochita had
Hello,
no
Apple
problem with
Halloween
that last part,
episode.
as he and
I'm
Denji
expecting you
hunted down
eventually,
and killed
Ash.
his devil brethren.
It's a tough job, but when selling your testicles won't pay off your dad's debts, it'll do.
That is, until Denji was cornered and forced to learn about those two universal constants. Life sucks, and then you die.
But sometimes, if you're really unlucky, there's a third option.
Born from his and Pochita's contract, a literal deal with the devil, Pochita would become one with Denji's body in exchange for Denji to live a happy life.
And so the two fused into a half-human, half-devil hybrid, the Chainsaw Man, aka a one-man, blood-soaked devil-slaying machine. The perfect candidate
Whenever I
for the
saw
public safety
Denji,
devil hunters,
I don't know if y'all
led by
remember this.
piece of
My
work.
first
With nothing
thought
controlling him but his
was
raging
the
teenage
chainsaw
hormones,
guy from
Denji
Soul
would
Eater.
battle all of devil
Whoever remembers
kind in
how
the
cool
hopes of
he
one
was?
day getting
Jesus
laid.
Christ.
And he was a natural at killing, not getting laid. As the Chainsaw Man, Denji can slice through just about anything. And
You know the one who
generate new
used to
chainsaws from
use,
any
I
surface
think
of
it was
his body.
Or
capoeira
swing him
with
around
chains
on
around his
massively
legs.
long chains.
That was
Oh,
cool.
Man, that's so cool.
It helps that Denji is incredibly powerful, capable of lifting and throwing cars, surviving being blasted through several buildings, and moving way faster than the eye can see.
And if he
Denji
happens to
man.
get torn apart by some ornery devil, no biggie, because he can regenerate from just about anything.
Denji has survived being sliced to pieces, having his head torn off, being dipped in demonic stomach acid for hours, and even getting his heart ripped out.
Haven't we all? Chainsaw Man didn't regenerate his heart. Oh no, his heart regenerated a chainsaw
Oh
man.
man.
Even separating Denji and Pochita won't stop them. When Denji was stuck
Okay.
in this alternate dimension, he and Pochita still possessed a metaphysical connection.
With their stomachs.
While his healing factor can be overtaxed, all he needs to do is drink some blood and he's back to full health.
And considering that chainsawing devils apart is basically an infinite blood exploit, he almost never runs out, only limited by the violence-induced psychotic frenzy he enters in combat.
Well, he's not actually crazy. Denji might be, okay, definitely is an under-socialized moron led by his dick, but he's surprisingly clever in combat.
Almost always thinking outside the box and coming up with so
Nuts or nothing.
brilliant strategies to take on devils that should be too strong for him.
In short, Denji was the perfect soldier and was rewarded for his efforts with something that began to resemble a happy life. Aki, the stern older brother, Power, the bratty younger sister, and Makima, his boss and the girl of his dreams.
All Denji had to do to finally score with that dead-eyed redhead was to kill the most fearsome devils in existence, like the Typhoon Devil, who created a massive hurricane, or the Bomb Devil, who could blow up most of a city, or the Gun Devil, who could travel around the world and kill over 1 million people in about 5 minutes.
But, plot twist, he had to kill Makima too, because she was secretly the Control Devil,
Yep.
one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Everything she told Denji was a lie. The happy life he created, the family he made, all of it was designed to be torn down.
All with one goal, to force Denji to break his contract with Pochita and become her servant. Order 66ing every devil she didn't like. But when Denji did break, Pochita took over.
Now, Pochi might look cute and cuddly, but the Chainsaw Devil is one of the strongest and scariest dudes in the universe, capable of tearing through hordes of devil hybrids like nothing.
More than enough to give Denji his opening to beat Makima by cutting her up into sashimi and eating her whole. A very similar solution to the Chainsaw Devil's most powerful ability.
The
Anything Pochi
ability to
asks
eat
delete it
concepts.
from existence. Yeah, like it never happened in the first place. World War II? Gone. AIDS? Nada. Nuclear frickin' bombs? A light tasty afternoon snack, thank you very much. Forgive me, chainsaws. I knew not your power.
He also ate the Death Devil. Yes, Denji ate death, which means no one on Earth could die.
Oh, you think that's messed up? Let's talk about his next romance, Asa.
A sweet, shy, awkward girl, perhaps Denji's one true love, except for the fact that she shares a body with Makima's sister, Yoru, the War Devil.
Who herself is in love with the greatest warmonger of them all, the United States of
America.
And Yoru was determined to use her love of the USA to drown the world in a ceaseless hurricane of blood.
Denji, buddy, you ever considered maybe switching to guys or something? Because every single woman you meet has tried to
Murder
kill
you.
It was in Denji's climactic battle with the War Devil that his and Pochi's
Jesus
bond
Christ,
finally
actually.
matured, giving Denji full control of the
This is
Chainsaw
why
Devil's
you
power.
avoid
A
crazy.
kind of Denji man.
Wait a minute.
Which
I'm a
he used to
I'm a
kick the War
PNG
Devil's
tuber.
ass.
Seeing
And
crazy
show
is
no
going
show,
to be
strong
usual
enough
for
to
me.
shoot Pochita from across the globe with a near light speed 2-ton bullet from the goddamn Statue of Liberty. Better yet, Yoru was so powerful she turned Oregon into a sword. Yes, the state of Oregon. Crumple the entire landmass into a blade, fly it over to Japan, and swing it at Denji. And he matched its power.
She also threw the American flag at him. The one on the moon.
What
You know,
the-
the moon in space.
What the
In
fuck?
seconds. And he dodged it.
The
What?
whole world
Hold
literally
up.
falling apart. Pochita realized that becoming Chainsaw Man made Denji's dream for a normal life impossible.
Something Denji was always too stubborn and selfish to realize until it was too late.
So Pochita did what any good dog would do. eat himself and erase the Chainsaw Devil from existence, creating a new world without him and leaving Denji just Denji.
But maybe all this time, Denji was enough. Being Chainsaw Man could not save his loved ones, but being Denji could.
Because, sure, life sucks and then, yeah, you'll die. But while you're stuck in between, chasing your dreams with your buds can help make life worth living.
Sure. The ending was still BS.
Alright, the battle's about to start. But first, pitch calls are back. Yep. Hey, I'm Chad, the voice of Boomstick. And we've reopened Death Battle pitch calls on the Death Battle store. It's a way for you to meet with Ben and I, the creators of Death Battle, and pitch us your favorite matchup you always wanted to see over a video call.
That's right, a lot of the episodes we're working on right now are being made because of a pitch. But to give each pitch the time it needs, there is a limited number available.
So grab them quick before they're gone. Last time we sold out in just under an hour, which absolutely blew our minds.
I would
Death
love
Battle
to be
pitches
able
are
to call for a
available
pitch
right now
one
on our
day,
website,
but there's no way I'm going to.
It's kind of like our own private Patreon with a bunch of extra stuff in every episode of Death Battle ever.
And if you're a website member, you get first dibs. First it'll be available to chroniclers, then archivists, and so on. Plus, members get a pretty sweet discount on the store, so it's a big deal.
Let's get to the battle, but don't forget to grab your pitch at deathbattle.gg. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Alright. I'm gonna say this again. I've got my money on Denji. My opinion goes to Denji. I just... that whole thing, that whole ending part about the War Devil was crazy. It's hilarious. Alright. Let's do this. Ooh.
Oh, man. Oh, no. You're fine. You're fine. This wasn't my fault. I've never felt such weird cursed energy like his before. Say your prayers.
And we're already starting.
You're a chainsaw curse? Oh, no! I'm the hero to all! Kicker masses, magnet to chicks, half man, half devil, chainsaw man! Let's finish this! Chainsaw instant death technique!
Jesus.
Batter up, pig-head, punk-ass bitch!
Bitch slapped with his own hand.
Wait for it.
Ooh.
I realized you had two cursed energy sources in one body, so I separated them. Speaking of... Domain expansion. You messed up, baby! Poseidon are our brothers! You'll never keep us apart!
Ooh.
Domain expansion. Huh? Finally got you to stop moving! See? We can be smart too, huh? Punk ass bitch. Black Flash! Try it!
that it? Oh!
Human and a curse. Brothers. You don't see that every day.
The curse has been lifted!
Pochita, I wonder if that burger place is still open.
If Yuji Itadori was one thing, he was strong. Just not strong
enough.
today.
Let's break this down into 4 chapters: their speed, skill, abilities, and power.
First off, who was faster?
Yuji's greatest speed feat is the Black Flash. In order to apply cursed energy within 1 microsecond of a strike, Yuji would have to move and react at over 900 times the speed of sound.
Insanely fast. But remember that time Denji dodged that flag that Yoru summoned from the moon? You know, the one
I
that's
had
over
a feeling this might be a
200,000
speed
miles
feat.
away?
Considering Denji's position from start to impact, all while in the midst of a fast-paced battle, this must have happened in a matter of seconds.
We'll lowball it and say 10. Though it'd probably have to be faster to use against Denji in a fight.
This means the flag must have been moving over 12% the speed of light.
Over 100 times faster than the Black Flash.
Now, Yuji has gotten significantly stronger since his adolescence, but we know for a fact that in Jujutsu Kaisen, relativistic speeds are something humanity has explicitly not yet achieved.
So it's pretty clear that Denji takes speed.
However, Yuji has made a career out of going up against enemies far out of his league by
Yep.
relying on his skill.
Skills.
And what a career it's been! He defeated the King of Curses all before he was even an adult, and he continued to train and master his jujutsu techniques for decades.
Whereas Denji, while certainly a clever, unorthodox fighter, would often get by due to his sheer stubbornness and durability more than anything else.
With Yuji's greater experience and martial arts combined, he was definitely the more skilled fighter.
What wasn't as clear-cut was who had the better ability.
Powers.
Specifically, how well they can cut each other and how well they can heal from being cut. So I guess it's their cut ability.
Both could survive pretty insane wounds, though Denji's devil healing factor was superior.
The
Knew
most
that.
Yuji has ever healed were some big slashes against his stomach.
And while other similarly powerful sorcerers like Gojo could regenerate lost limbs, Denji could regenerate almost all of his body
His whole
from a single
body
cord
in one
pull.
moment.
That being said, Yuji's soul targeting attacks have done lasting damage against those with superior healing like Mahito.
Not just that, but literally splitting 2 souls apart. That's how he beat Sukuna, and he could potentially do the same thing to break apart Denji and Pochita.
However,
If it
it's not so
wouldn't-
simple. Sukuna was already severely weakened.
I was about
at
to
the
say
time,
if it
and
wouldn't
took
matter,
Yuji's
considering they literally said Pocha has an ability that literally cuts abilities like that from happening.
several hits to separate him and Megumi.
And on top of that, even if Denji and Pochita were split up, we know they keep a metaphysical connection
Yep.
when apart. In fact, they were split up when they were fighting Makaba, and they had no problem rejoining. No reason they couldn't do it again here.
However, Denji's healing factor isn't unlimited. He'll
He
need
needs
blood,
blood
to heal
for it.
eventually, and the range and speed of Yuji's slashes would force Denji to tank them to get up close.
Even if he could, Yuji's healing factor wouldn't last nearly as long against Denji's chainsaws. But then Yuji could back off, Denji chase him, and so on.
Like an unstoppable force meeting an
An
immovable
immovable
object,
object.
neither had a clear edge in cut ability.
So what it ultimately came down to was power.
Pure
Who could do
strength.
the most damage and wear the other guy down first?
Yuji slicing apart an entire city is one of the most impressive feats in all of Jujutsu Kaisen. By measuring the clouds of dust created in his attack's wake, we can estimate he launched over 5.5 million tons of debris into the air.
I'm gonna have
That
to
kind of force
scale
is
this
equivalent
between
to over
this and
3
Izuku's
megatons
final
of
punch,
TNT,
since that's
comparable
another
to
thing
a
that's been a
hydrogen
pain.
bomb.
But unfortunately for Yuji, while he could cut apart a city, Denji was Oregon level.
The state of Oregon is the 9th largest in the Union by total area. Nearly
Which I think this is the
100,000
first time
square
we've
miles.
actually seen
By
just
estimating its
straight
volume,
up
Yoru compressed
state
the mass
scaling.
weighing over 750 trillion tons.
I
One
seriously
swing
don't
from
think
that
we've
sword
ever
would
seen
hit
that.
with an energy
All
of
we've
over
ever seen is like
30,000 megatons
country
of
or
TNT.
continent.
Which is like
We've
10,000
never seen
hydrogen
stateside
bombs.
scaling
And
before.
not only did Denji survive a swing, he straight up overpowered it. That's insanely strong, but not inconsistent. Like the time Yoru fired that globe-spanning near-light-speed bullet from the Statue of Liberty.
Sure, Yuji's citywide dismantle was done casually, but so was Yoru crumpling Oregon. Yuji's dismantles would need to be 1,000,000% stronger to do significant damage to Denji.
Especially with Denji's OP healing factor too.
Denji takes the final edge in power. All Denji needed was one good hit to finish the fight. And with his far greater speed, it was only a matter of time.
What
Yep.
can I say, Yuji? Denji's just got that dog in him.
The winner
Oh my
is
God.
Denji, the Chainsaw Man.
Seriously?
Next.
Well, adios, Yuji-ka. And with that, let's see who's up. Please don't be bad. Please don't be bad. I want to watch this next episode. Please don't be bad.
It's time
Who's
on
up?
Death Battle.
Oh, no. No.
Subscribe and join as a member to see
Century
more Death Battle.
versus
Thanks for watching.
Superboy Prime. Oh, boy. Well, at least that deals with people's problems. Well, one certain people's problems of how they've recently gone, you know, the whole let's do every popular anime because they're ending thing spiel. But at the very least, it's something different. Thank God for that. So, what did y'all think? I personally enjoyed it because, again, it proved me right. And actually, now I wish I didn't really leave because, hang on, I'm gonna go back because I want to look at my record for this season, which one I got right and which one I got wrong. I don't know if y'all do that, but I do. I keep track of what I called.
Say your prayers.
Here we go.
Say your prayers.
So, actually, well, the first three were squash matches, so these didn't really count. I called this one at the last minute, and
Say your
I
prayer.
stuck exactly where I was. So, I've been pretty accurate this season. That's great. Excuse me. I'd say I enjoy the fact that I've been pretty accurate. But with that, I'm going to sign off here. As always, I appreciate your time if you've catched this video. But with that, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see y'all next time for what episode is next. Century versus Superboy Prime. We're finally going back to some cosmic comic bull crap. Enjoy it while you can, because I don't know when the next amount of clickbait episodes are coming around. So enjoy it while you can, DB fans. But with that, I'm out. Peace.